gravel road that no one knows, that I won't forget. Trace a fence down to the back, it ain't on the map. Take a left to the woolshed. Piling that old Ford, we're gone for the night. Beer in the back and we'll let that dust fly. On the outskirts, 40 K's down the highway to the red dirt. Just what we do on a Friday, just running wild and being young, singing country roads at the top of our lungs. Good times wherever we were. On the outskirts, no matter where I roam, where I call home ain't never gonna change. Right there where time goes slow and the river flows from the mighty mountain range. Some planted roots deep and now they'll never leave. Laid the foundations for all of us kids. On the outskirts, 40 K's down the highway to the red dirt. Just what we do on a Friday, just running wild and being young, singing country roads at the top of our lungs. Good times wherever we were. On the outskirts, on the outskirts, yeah. In this small town, everyone knows your name. If you ever in need, you just call on your mate. If you're ever looking for me, you know that's where I'll be. On the outskirts, 40 K's down the highway to the red dirt. Just what we do on a Friday, running wild and being young, singing country roads at the top of our lungs. Good times wherever we were. On the outskirts, 40 K's down the highway to the red dirt. Just what we do on a Friday, running wild and being young, singing TNT at the top of our lungs. Good times wherever we were. On the outskirts, where you find me. On the outskirts, oh yeah, yeah. We grew up in the outskirts.
Well, welcome to our Buckle and Boots special, and that was Outskirts by Hayley Jensen. And I'm delighted to introduce all the way from Sydney in Australia, Hayley Jensen, who's been over in the UK for a week.
A week and a half, yes.
Yeah.
Well settled in.
Now, this is the second time you've been at Buckle and Boots, Hayley. And you were last here in 2017?
2018 I was here
2018.
last, and it was about a quarter of the size that it is right now. It really has absolutely expanded and grown, and the number of people here, it's absolutely phenomenal. There's market stalls, it's just the camping has exploded everywhere. We barely recognised the place when we walked in, so it is fabulous to see UK country music going strong.
And, I mean, country music is a biggish thing in Australia. You're a winner of 2 golden guitars.
Finalist, nominated, top 5 finalists for 2 golden guitars. Winner of 2 independent country music awards. So, close enough.
She's good. And what have you been doing while you've been in the UK?
We've had a wonderful time. As I say, been here for about a week and a half. The first week when I landed, we played Country in the Afternoons down in London at the Half Moon in Putney, which was absolutely incredible. And what a welcome we received. It was really fantastic. We then headed up to Birmingham, where we were part of your wonderful songwriting workshop at the Symphony Hall at the ICC. And then the Nashville Sounds in the Round that night. So that was a wonderful songwriting evening. And then we headed to Wales for the In It Together Festival, where we headlined the first night of the country stage at that festival, which was brilliant. It was called The Ranch, and Kezia Gill headlined the Saturday night. So it was great to see country music taking over a all-genre music festival as well. And now we're here at Buckle and Boots.
And where are you off to next?
Next, we're off to Belgium. My husband's from Belgium, so we're going to have a little holiday there, and then off to CMA Fest in Nashville for a week.
and then back
And
to
then
Australia.
back home, and then I've got a new album coming out, so I'm doing all of the organising for that.
And you had a new song released on Friday.
Indeed.
Tell us a bit
Yes.
about that song.
Especially, I thought I'd save it up for my trip to the UK to release it while I'm here, which has just been wonderful. It's called Giddy Up Cowboy, yeah, and it's got off to a flying start. It's been added to some really great playlists across the digital platforms, which I'm just absolutely really over the moon
So what's
about.
it about? It's a hell of a title, Giddy Up Cowboy.
Well, it is. It's a bit of one of these, a night where I guess you're just having a chilled night with your friends in the bar, and then next minute someone walks in, catches your eye, and you think, oh, they're a bit of all right, but you know that they're just bad news, and you kind of have to trust your gut to not go there. So it's one of those.
Giddy Up Cowboy.
Giddy up, cowboy! Get on out of town.
That's the best opener for the track. Let's play Giddy Up Cowboy.
It was one of them Friday nights when nothing would do but smoke your room, sipping Tennessee to unwind. You walked on by in your real Levi's and you look pretty good for bad news. I know your type ain't my first time, but just don't settle on your boots. You break my heart if I let you. Giddy up, cowboy, get on out of town, boy. I don't mess around with guys like you. You listen when you leave, I'll never give a reason. I'ma be the one to cut you loose. So pick your boots up off the ground. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Giddy up, cowboy. Well, there must have been something in the air, 'cause I was 3 drinks in when we got talking, and you leaned back into your chair. That look in your eyes got me thinking twice. You nearly had me right there, but your wandering eyes, they proved me right. Little red dress calling your name, and you were back to your old days. Giddy up, cowboy, get on out of town, boy. I don't mess around with guys like you. You listen when you leave, I'll never give a reason. I'ma be the one to cut you loose. So pick your boots up off the ground. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Giddy up, cowboy. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, yeah, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, cowboy, get on out of town, boy. I don't mess around with guys like you. You listen when you leave, I'll never give a reason. I will be the one to cut you loose. So pick your boots up off the ground. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Giddy up, cowboy. Giddy up, giddy up, cowboy. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, people in this lifetime, they come and they go, and the ones that last a lifetime in your soul. It's a blessing you find them, and that's how you know when they're not here to hear this sweet song you wrote. Words pour out easy, pain's easy to feel. It's hard to fill your glass up when half empty is all that's real. Glass breaks when your heart breaks, and giving up is all you got. Let the light burn out slow. take the good and the bad. Tequila's a healer, take a shot in the dark. Love like a blindfold, let's use your bullet through my heart. But I love you, each time that you go. You haunt me in my dreams, and that's how I know that I love you, each time that you go. You haunt me in my dreams, and that's how I know that I love you, each time that you go. You haunt me in my dreams, and that's how I know that I love you, each time that you go. You haunt me in my dreams, and that's how I know, that's how I know.
Well, I don't know if tequila's a healer or not, but here we are at Buckle and Boots with the incredible Gasoline and Matches, Sally Ray and Steve, Marks. And what I want to know is why you keep coming back to Buckle and Boots.
It's a very special place for us. Yeah.
We love coming here. This was probably the first proper UK festival experience. We'd been to C2C, but I think you've got to be in a field to really live that festival life. And this is the only festival we've ever camped at multiple times, and they've invited us back. So it's just a pleasure to be here, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first festival that gave us a chance, gave us a slot. You know, they said turn up. There's no slots available, but turn up with your guitars and your tent, and we'll see what we can do. And somebody pulled out, luckily for us at the time. They gave us a shot on the original sort of location for the paddock stage. Buckle and Boots was only 1 year old at that point. They'd done one festival where Ward Thomas headlined, I think, that year. It was the second year. We didn't know what to expect, so imagine driving down there for the first time and seeing the little lake and the house and meeting the Hancocks and meeting everybody and just feeling like you were part of a circus of musicians that just, you know, wanted to make something special.
But I do think we've seen the evolution of this festival as well, and I feel like we've been a part of that with a group of musicians. There's always the same faces here.
But there's new faces too.
There were new
amazing.
faces, but there's always some of the same people that you see, and it feels like coming home just a little bit. So
that's
it's a
true.
special
Yeah, 'cause
place.
on that, for this programme, you were the first artist at Buckle and Boots I ever interviewed.
And we were just as scared as you were.
And that was early one morning. And what was the nicest thing is going back to Kitchen Garden for a Nashville Sounds in the Round, and you remembered who we were, which was very magical for us.
Yeah.
So that was wonderful. Now, you've had a busy week this week because you've been doing something you don't normally do, which is supporting someone else. Not supporting, but being the band for a touring artist from Australia, Hayley Jensen. How's that experience been? Because that's an unusual thing for you guys to do.
It is, yeah. We've always avoided the backing band situation because, you know, we are Gasoline and Matches, and I never wanted to distill that energy that we have on stage as a band.
Well, it was more just we're not necessarily session musicians.
No.
We're not session players, so we've never wanted to necessarily do that. But at the same time, there are certain musicians that we meet through playing shows with them or being on the same kind of lineups as them at festivals. And we actually did meet Hayley back in 2018, and that was the first Buckle and Boots we were officially on. And she was on the main stage, we were on the main stage that year.
Yeah.
And so we had crossed paths, and it was just nice to be a part of her set and doing it. And we like her music, we love her, we love her music, but we love her as a person and her energy, and it was just quite nice to get to do that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, whenever we play the main stage here, it's always a joy. That space and that room and the audience and the roar from the audience after the track, and it's just magical. So that opportunity we couldn't really pass up. You know.
And you had Hayley at Nashville Sounds on the Round on Wednesday. Talking of Nashville Sounds on the Round, when's your next one?
So the next one, I believe it's so our next official one is the 26th of July. As long as that's a Saturday, that's the correct date. So it's a Saturday morning one that we've got coming up, and we're partnering with Live in the Living Room.
Yeah.
So we've allowed James Vince from Live in a Living Room to choose some of the artists for that round. So he's selected Mr. Paul Adams and also Nicole Allen. So they're joining us, and then we've also curated some of the artists. So we've got Savannah Gardner and a local artist and singer-songwriter called Lucy Shaw. So that'll be a really lovely one. But we have got another lunchtime special coming up as well that we're not featuring on. It will just be 3 artists, but that's coming up. That's going to get announced really soon.
Oh, great.
So that'll happen before.
Now, Sally Steve, thank you for your time. To play us out, I'm going to play what is my favourite song of yours, my favourite videos of yours, which is Afraid to Fall. I think it's a brilliant song. Thank you for being on the programme. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us.
Can you hear me? Don't let them tell you life ain't that simple. Sometimes it is. You might find us sipping some wine right on the shoreline on a big rock sitting and cherry piston. We're seizing the day, better sorry than safe. That's what you need to do sometimes to not go insane. It's not what happens right now, that's tomorrow, not yesterday. So one day at a time, one night at a time, one beer at a... Okay, let's make an exception here. We're gonna drive this Chevrolet till the sun goes down, or maybe till the next day. We're gonna find some place where they're playing good music for a country girl to dance. We're gonna dance like crazy, get a little more than tipsy, 'cause the beer is all for free tonight. Don't let them tell you life ain't never that easy. Don't let them tell you to never give yourself a break. Don't let them tell you life ain't that simple. Sometimes it is. It can be as simple as a nice bedtime story, just as simple as counting 1, 2, 3. Here we go. We're gonna drive this Chevrolet till the sun goes down, or maybe till the next day. We're gonna find some place, let's play good music and our blues on for a dance. Watch the country boys go crazy and a little more than tipsy, 'cause the beer is all for free tonight. Don't let them tell you life ain't never that easy. Don't let them tell you to never give yourself a break. Don't let them tell you life ain't that simple. Sometimes it is.
That was a new artist to Buckler Boots, Isla Schofield. And it sounds very British, but it's not. You're German, aren't you, Isla?
Yes, indeed.
So, how come a German artist gets to come to an English country music festival? Tell me a bit about your journey to get here.
Oh yeah, there's such such a long story behind it actually, but I grew up with country music because my parents loved it. My dad also has always been in a country band since before I was born. So yeah, I always wanted to be a country musician from very early on. I started playing the fiddle at like 8 years old, and there was never really a doubt that that's what I want to do with my life. And so when I finished school, I started, I was busking for a while because, during COVID, I couldn't really do anything else. And after that, I bought myself a car from that busking money and started traveling a lot in Europe in general, and was living in different countries and touring in different countries. I so far only came to the UK once on a school trip, and then a second time to see some of my favorite acts from the States play, which was Drake White and the Chicks. And I always loved the atmosphere over here and what I heard, what I saw on social media, and the festivals that were going on. And like for the second half of last year, it really became like a goal that shaped, you could say, for me to plan my own UK tour. And then I started doing a lot of research, sending a lot of emails. Also, since I'm an independent artist, I don't have like an agent or a manager, so I do all the booking myself, and it was a lot of work, but it was also quite encouraging and quite fruitful, I would say, because I saw how lively the scene is here and how much of a network there is over here. And there's a lot of festivals, a lot of other artists, and so I got really excited coming over here, and I've not been disappointed so far. And now also being part of Buckler and Boots, which I was so happy when they sent me the email and I got accepted for the festival. So that's obviously great because there's so many other artists here, other industry professionals, and it's so great to meet people, be part of this family, which is very much what it feels like.
And how many places have you been in the UK?
I actually forgot the exact number, but I think I had like 16 shows so far.
Wow.
So I came over here with the ferry. So I got into Dover when I arrived, and I had my first show in London. Then I was over in Essex and Suffolk, and then South Coast, South Wales, and slowly made my way up through Yorkshire to Scotland, where I had 4 shows there, and now I'm back down in England. So it's a lot, is all I can say.
That's impressive. Now, one of the things that I think is interesting with yourself is you play both guitar and fiddle, but you play guitar left-handed, but you play fiddle right-handed.
Yeah.
That's unusual. How come that happened?
Yeah, so that is always a really good question. So, as I said, I started playing fiddle quite early, at 8 years old, and I was, a kid, and I am left-handed. Like, I write with my left hand. But when I started playing the fiddle or the violin, everyone was like, well, don't even consider playing the other way around because, this is the proper way. And otherwise you can never play in an orchestra and all that, which I didn't want to do anyway. But, I was young and I was like, okay, they say I should do it this way, I'll do it this way. But then later on, when I started playing guitar at like 11, 12 years old, I decided for myself that I wanted to do it left-handed because also my dad is left-handed and he always played guitar right-handed. And he said that he always kind of regrets that a little bit because his rhythm hand, he says, can probably never get as good and as reliable as it was if he was playing left-handed. And so from that, I decided that, but also, which is a bit of a fun fact, when you play guitar, you get this really thick, calloused skin on your fingers from the guitar strings, which you don't get from the violin because it's got, finer strings. And you need that fine feel in your fingers also, which I don't really have in this hand anymore from guitar playing. And that's something my grandpa told me because he plays both fiddle and guitar, both right-handed. And he said that since he started playing guitar, he kind of lost a bit of the feeling
I never thought
for the violin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Now, the other thing that's unusual for you is that you do something called looping, which means you can be your own band. And it's becoming more and more popular to do looping. But on the country scene, there are relatively few people that do it. What took you into looping?
So actually, I was performing for years with just guitar and vocals, and when I got to play for Oliver Anthony on his European tour, I was his fiddle player, and so then I was called Isla Schofield, Oliver Anthony's fiddle player, and I think that reminded me that I'm a fiddle player. Because I usually, I thought about it like, okay, I cannot play the fiddle unless I have a group to play with, that's life. But then I was like, well, I really, really want to bring the fiddle back in. How can I do that with my solo set? And then I had the idea to do that with the loop station. I am a huge fan of Ed Sheeran's music, especially his live performances, so that's obviously a huge inspiration. I love Katie Tunstall. She's also a big inspiration performing-wise, and that's kind of how I got into it. It's been really fun so far.
I want to show an example of you looping on the next one, and we're going to play "Change It for the Better."
Yeah.
Do you want to just tell us very briefly what that's about?
Yeah. So I think for anyone, but for me, especially through touring and the whole musician life, there is always a lot of change involved. I wrote this song specifically when I was moving to a different place in Germany, and everything was, it was very disorganized chapter of life, you could say. I was living in an apartment with no doors. That's also a whole different story, but we ended up in this temporary apartment because another one fell through, and and it was an unfinished apartment, so no doors. Going to the bathroom was interesting. So, in that chapter of my life, I wrote this song about change, and I wrote it in that apartment with no doors, about dealing with change. And my mom taught me that the best thing you can do when things change too fast and too much is to embrace what life gives you, and make the best of it and find growth in that change.
And you can write a song about it.
Yeah.
Let's play the song.
Change is for the better.
Change is for the better.
Nothing stays the same, and always changing picture. At times it's looking strange, then strange becomes familiar. A season of my face, looking at me in the mirror. Ooh, change. Won't you try to stop this train from running? You're gonna get hurt, believe me, I've done it. If you're trying to stop the tide from coming, your castle of sin is gonna be gone, and you can't stop the change. You can't stop the change, but you can change it for the better. See that little boy always had to be ready. He didn't have a choice, and things were never steady. He somehow found a way to navigate through constant change. Won't you try to stop this train from running? You're gonna get hurt, believe me, I've done it. If you try to stop the tide from coming, your castle of sin is gonna be gone, and you can't stop the change. You can't stop the change, but you can change it for. to stop this train from running, you're gonna get hurt. Believe me, I've done it. If you're trying to stop the tide from coming, your castle of sin is gonna be gone. You can't stop the change. You can't stop the change, but you can change it change it for the better.
Again, and just when I thank the Lord, you grab a knife and cut the cord. These days, I'd rather just pretend that on the weekend I'm a star, hit up the bars, but I'm in the deep end. You got me underwater, drowning in myself tonight. I swim towards the surface, peeking through the light. I find a pocket of air. Your hand's not there, so I reach for the jack instead. And I dream one shot, two shots, three shots more, and then I'll blow your phone up till my heart hits the floor. Mr. Bartender, please get her off my mind. Running out of ways to drown the pain. Damn it, I need one shot, two shots, three shots more to stop me feeling lonely like every night before. Mr. Bartender, goddamn, don't give me no half measures. I'm tired of turning to dust, trying to lose the taste of us. Way down this road of you and me, I realize I miss the signs, ignore the evil in your eyes. I'm not ready to stop thinking of you, whilst it's pretty clear to see that you never thought of me. So I drink one shot, two shots, three shots, four, and then I'll blow your phone up till my heart hits the floor. Mr. Bartender, please get her off my mind. Running out of ways to drown the pain. Damn it, I need one shot, two shots, three shots more to stop me feeling lonely like every night before. Mr. Bartender, goddamn, don't give me no half measures. I'm tired of turning to dust, trying to lose the taste of us. I drink one shot, two shots, three shots, four, and then I'll blow your phone until my heart hits the floor. Mr. Bartender, please get her off my mind. I'm running out of ways to drown the pain. Damn it, I need one shot, two shots, three shots more to stop me feeling lonely like every night before. Mr. Bartender, goddamn, don't give me no half measures. I'm tired of turning to dust, trying to lose the taste of us.
Well, that was Taste of Us with Jake O'Neill. It's now Sunday morning. We're all worse for wear. And I've got Jake O'Neill with me.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, good. Now, Jake, you've been sponsored by Buckle and Boots. What has that meant for you?
It's meant a great deal. I think that Buckle and Boots are really, really good for sponsoring artists. They're really good at helping out independent artists. I think the backing and just the sheer family, it's a massive family here. And for artists like myself that don't have any external backing, it's really helpful, confidence-wise, and just as an artist.
And how many times are you playing over this weekend?
So 3 or 4 times. I've had a writers' round with Maggie and Cody. I've had my full band set, and I also had another writers' round on Thursday. I was with Robin.
Yeah, that was the 4 sponsored artists on the top of the bus.
On the top of the famous bus.
What you can't see is the buses behind the camera.
It's literally right there.
So
it was great fun. It was nice. Nice.
Robin looked as though she was freezing, I have to say.
I bet she was. I feel like we were all tapping our feet, and not because we were trying to keep in time.
Now, what other things have you got done this year? What have you got planned for this year? What's happening in your life?
So this year's been a hectic start really. I released my first song at the end of January. Got ourselves some national radio play for the first time, which was great. And then I went on my first European tour in Netherlands, Germany, and Switzerland. And then I had C2C in March as well, which was fantastic and a great weekend. It's my first time going, even attending. So yeah, I loved it. And the rest of the year just looks like more gigs and more music.
And what is your ambition? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to get to?
Where do I want to get to? I feel like the sky's the limit with stuff like this. I feel like I just want to get to the level where I'm playing my own songs every week and I can live off it. I feel like I will be very content when that happens. I feel like being able to write for people is also something I really want to do. I don't want to just write for myself. I want to co-write and make new friends with it and write for different artists as well.
Right. Okay. Now, I'm going to play another song of yours, but this one's a cover.
Yes.
Tell us a bit why you picked that song and what it means to you.
Well, I posted this clip on TikTok. Obviously, we all do the TikToks nowadays. And it was a cover of a Disney song, High School Musical song. And it went nuts on it. It's 2 videos, got over 1 million views. So I was asking everyone, shall I release it? And I released the version that I put out on TikTok, on Spotify, and that was Gotta Go My Own Way.
Lovely. Let's play it.
I gotta say what's on my mind. Something about us doesn't seem right these days. Life keeps getting in the way. Whenever we try, somehow the plan is always rearranged. I'm leaving today, 'cause I gotta do what's best for me. You'll be okay. I've got to move on and be who I am. I just don't belong here. I hope you understand. We might find a place in this world someday, but at least for now, I gotta go my own way. What about us? What about everything we've been through? What about trust? You know I never meant to hurt you. What about me? What am I supposed to do? I gotta leave, but I miss you. I've got to move on and be who I am. I just don't belong here. I hope you understand. We might find a place in this world someday, but at least for now, I've got to move on and be who I am. I just don't belong here. I hope you understand. We might find a place in this world someday, but at least for now, yeah, at least for now, I gotta go my own way.
Petite and blonde, don't wear Louis Vuitton. I ain't picture perfect, babe. I like my comfort clothes and a Netflix show, only up late on a Saturday. Hate to admit when I'm wrong, complicated is strong, but my heart's in the right place. I'm writing country songs, don't feel like I belong. Live in here in the UK. Swap my Crocs for some cowboy boots. Heel toe, do-si-do, can you teach me how to move? Spend a night on Broadway, wagon wheel on replay. Biz and trucks getting lost in the hook of a needing something you prove. In a past life, I think I was a cowgirl too. Trade out my pension for a whiskey smooth. Hearing my lyrics under the Opry roof. A dreamer's heaven and a neon moon. Before I fell in that bluebird room under a Nashville skyline, sipping on a watermelon moonshine. Swap my Crocs for some cowboy boots. Heel toe, do-si-do, can you teach me how to move? Spend a night on Broadway, wagon wheel on replay. Biz and trucks getting lost in the hook of a needing something you prove. In a past life, I think I was a cowgirl too. Oh yeah, I do. We can go there if you want. We'll be up till dawn under a Nashville skyline, sipping on a watermelon moonshine. Swap my Crocs for some cowboy boots. Heel toe, do-si-do, can you teach me how to move? Spend a night on Broadway, wagon wheel on replay. Biz and trucks getting lost in the hook of a needing something you prove. In a past life, oh, in a past life, I think I was a cowgirl too.
Now we've got that cowgirl with us. We're at Buckle and Boots. It's Saturday morning and we're still reasonably lively.
Yeah, had a coffee.
Katie Rigby's just done a songwriter round. Now we're trying to get some peace and quiet.
Oh yeah.
Now, you actually performed on Thursday at Buckle.
I did, yes.
On the top of the bus with Matt Hodges and Jake and
Robin. Yeah. The
Told you
sponsored
my brain
artist.
is mashed.
Yeah.
Told you my brain is mashed. How important is Buckle and Boots to you?
So important. I think we were just chatting, weren't we, earlier? Oh, the wire. That I don't think it's just a festival. It's definitely a community thing, and I've really experienced that even just the first couple of days. I've had breakfast with people, sausage and egg bars, and just like meeting people and hanging out with them. Dancing, the teenage cowgirls with their matching outfits on have made me this little bracelet, and they've made little pegs and stuff with this. It just is more than just a festival. It's like a whole experience. And the younger generation, my little friend Ben, she's only 8, he's actually over there now. He loves music, and I've watched him with my own eyes, like be so inspired by watching people, and it's magic. I think it's so special, and I just think it's going to continue to grow and get better. And yeah.
So how did you get into music originally?
My granddad was a musician, and he taught me how to play guitar. My uncle, his brother, is also a musician, so I've kind of like grew up surrounded by music. And then we used to have family parties, so that's where I like first had my first performance. Every Christmas, like I would perform, and then it kind of just went from there. Studied music at school. It's always just been there. It's never really felt like a conscious decision. It's just like a part of what I've always done.
Are you able to be full-time at music now, or are you having to do other things to earn your living as well?
Yeah. I think because I'm being quite particular, I could do music full-time, but I really want to focus on the artistry of music, so I've made the decision to not do as many covers gigs and things like that. So I'm really just focusing on like writing, recording, which isn't where the money is straight away. So I work full time alongside that and part time somewhere else as
It's
well.
very hard to do the career, to fit in all the things to do, because what a lot of people and fans and viewers don't realise, the creative part of being a musician is only part of it. There's a lot of business stuff to do your social media and all the other things. That takes a lot of time, doesn't it?
It does. I think it's part and parcel. I think I've kind of just I'm so passionate about it. It doesn't feel like work, and it's all I think about, if I'm being quite honest. So I've just found a way to make it work. But I think sometimes it can be overwhelming. I've experienced a few times like where I've burnt out, but balance is my key this year, and I think I've got better.
Have you got a team that help you with things like doing PRS returns or whatever, or do you have to do it all?
I do it all. I quite like it though. I really want to be at the forefront of everything I do, because I'm really really determined.
Freak.
No, I'm really. I mean, if someone offered to help, I wouldn't say no. But I'm really determined to do it my way, and I don't think it's going to be conventional. I think it's going to be like, if I have to work my full-time job in order to release songs that I want to release, sing the songs that I want to sing, do it like that way, then I'm like absolutely game to do it like that. The most important thing to me is like connecting with people.
And actually, that is a great link into the next song of yours I want to play, which is "Don't Give Up."
Oh, don't give me hope. Yeah.
Don't give me hope. How did you come to write that song?
I wrote it last year actually in America, and I was reading a lot. I was working at a summer camp, and I read this book called Twisted Hate, and it was kind of like star-crossed lovers, if you like can't be together, but like the fine line between love and hate, and they would be like enemies or whatever, and it was one of them songs, pretty much like Past Life Cowgirl, that it wasn't like a conscious thing. It just kind of happened. I sound like a lunatic, but sometimes it does just happen like that.
Some songs just fall out, and others can take years to get to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen to it. And thank you, Katie, for talking to me.
Thank you.
Got the look in your eyes, setting me alight. Your words cover me in red. Spark up your match, baby, I'm the gasoline, ready to give as good as I can get. I can't deny if the stars are aligned, never would have been friends. But you got the kind of smile a whole country mile could swear was heaven sent. You can give me hell, burn my world, make me think that you don't care. Mark my words, there's a fine line between loving and hating. I don't wanna choose, but you can give me fire, you can give me smoke, baby. Don't give me hope. Try to simmer the heat, but our worlds are intertwined, pushing away, ignites our flame. If you call me up, I guess I wouldn't even think twice. Too wrapped up in our twisted hate. I can't deny if the stars are aligned, we should just accept our fate. But giving my heart away in this hopeless game is a risk I shouldn't take. You can give me hell, burn my world, make me think that you don't care. Mark my words, there's a fine line between loving and hating. I don't wanna choose, but you can give me fire, you can give me soul, baby. Don't give me, swallow my pride, heart on the line. Don't
couldn't see the storm coming from above. Well, I walked in and I saw your face, a memory for me that I can't shake. And now I felt dry, I'll drink this whole town dry. I haven't asked for help 'cause I don't need it. The times we had are simple but true. I just can't handle this, and how could you? The house became a walkway, the prison seemed my past, my future scary without you at my back. The anger, the pain that I felt inside, I just couldn't show for fear of capsize. They're cobbled up, I carried you in, a journey just to stop my life to begin. And now if I'll cry, I'll drink this whole town dry. I haven't asked for help 'cause I don't need it. The times we had are simple but true. I just can't handle it, and how could you? And now if I'll cry, I'll drink this whole town dry. I haven't asked for help 'cause I don't need it. The times we had are simple but true. I just can't handle this, I just can't handle this. And now if I'll cry, I'll drink this whole town dry. I haven't asked for help 'cause I don't need it. The times we had are simple but true. I just can't handle this. How could you?
Now, I've got to say, How Could You by Matt Hodges and Mr. Matt Hodges. Now, you're here every year at Buckle and Boots, Matt. How do you manage that? Because they don't like bringing people back, so you must be a special person to Laura and Carl.
I think that might be part of it, but I think I'm sort of happy to get involved with anything as well, and you know, I've played with other people here and stuff like that, but I don't think it'll last forever. I think next year I might be not on the bill, but I'll be here anyway, even if I'm not.
Yeah, because it's a place to be. Now, you open the festival on Thursday night with On Top of the Bus with a number of other artists, or the artists that Buckle and Boots have sponsored.
Yeah.
You played yesterday in a writer's round. How many more times are you going to play?
I've got my main set today on the main stage, and then I'm involved with the orchestra for the headline to close the festival as well.
Yeah, I just think that is amazing, the orchestra.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's classic.
There's some new bits as well this year, so that should be quite interesting. Some surprises.
Okay. Now, what are you doing? You said yesterday in one of the things you were doing, you've done 300 gigs this year?
No,
last year?
Last year, yeah. This year it'll sort of be around 250, I would have thought. But yeah, last year I did 319. It was.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost a gig a day.
Yeah. But I cheat, and I sometimes I do 3 in a day.
That's still a lot of work, mate. No wonder your voice is husky.
That's lack of sleep.
Yeah, and all festivals, and I think Buckle particularly, is a test of stamina because it's late night. What time did you get to bed last night?
I wasn't too bad last night. I was in bed. I was asleep for 2:30 and then back up at 7:30.
Jesus, it's hard work. Now, I want to play another song of yours. One of my favourites is a song called Outlaw. Tell me a bit about why you wrote it.
So I wrote the song basically about 3-4 years ago now, and it was all about a radio presenter had said that they didn't want me to sound too American talking about these things, and I said, but that's what I do. So I went ahead and did it anyway, and it ended up, it's my most played song.
Right.
So around
I
the
didn't
world,
realise
so,
that.
Yeah, it's the most played song around the world, so I think it's getting played in like 40 countries a month as well, which is great at the moment.
Great, that helps the income and I'm doing the gigs. You're going to cut down on the gigs generally?
I am trying, yeah. It's hard. No is a hard word for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I am trying, but it's sort of balancing trying to have a life as well as doing this, because this is it's a choice, it's a lifestyle choice to do this. So I am trying. I think I'd like to get it down to sort of like 200 a year.
That's good. It's hard work though. It takes you all over the world, so hard stuff. But let's play Outlaw. Matt, thank you.
No, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, I've been known to walk a line that's got more of a curve. I've been around and seen some things, there's nothing that I ain't heard. I like to play honky tonks, bars out on the streets. There's nothing I want that I can't get with these hands and my 2 feet. Fishing in the morning, drinking in the afternoon. Stay up late with my guitar, some mileage on my boots. Shoot it straight, but lay it back, and only tell the truth. If you want that kind of loving, well, I could be the outlaw for you. I know the difference between right and wrong, strong down to my roots. But that don't mean I can't get a little crazy when they cut me loose. I ain't got no moonshine still in the hills of Tennessee, but I'll live the way I want to, and that's country enough for me. Fishing in the morning, drinking in the afternoon. Stay up late with my guitar, some mileage on my boots. Shoot it straight, but lay it back, and only tell the truth. And if you want that kind of loving, I could be the outlaw for you. Fishing in the morning, drinking in the afternoon. Stay up late with my guitar. Fishing in the morning, drinking in the afternoon. Stay up late with my guitar, it's a mileage on my boots. Shoot it straight, but lay it back, I'll only tell the truth. And if you want that kind of loving, well, I could be the outlaw for
Right. Now that last song, there's a story behind, and I'm not going to tell it. I'm going to get Robin to tell the song about the wine.
Well, I went to a house party sober, and whenever my mum dropped me off, one friend was coming out the house trying to get everyone out the house. One friend had went home, and I walked up the stairs, and another best friend of mine walked out the toilet crying. And then I walked into the toilet, and my other best friend was sitting on the toilet, been sick, into the bathtub. And I thought, that is such a good country song right there. I'm going to go home and write a song about it.
And you were sober?
I was sober, but I did need a huge bottle of wine that night to kind of get myself on the same level.
How you youth get to that, I don't know. I don't know. Now, we're at Buckle and Boots. We're sitting on the top of the bus this time, but yesterday you did a songwriter session that I think was quite special, because that was with Emma Zink, Matt Hodges, and the wonderful Blue Foley.
Yeah.
And Blue, for those of you who don't know, writes with Ashley McBride and things like that. And the whole session finished up with Robin singing Girl Going Nowhere, which I think has been videoed, and Blue's going to send it to Ashley. What was that like?
It was amazing. I never thought that I would be able to say that I've sung a song in front of one of Ashley McBride's songwriters. And yeah, it was just, and the fact that he's going to go and show her it is even more special.
I'll tell you the other thing that I noticed, and I suppose this is the third year I've seen you at Buckle.
Yeah.
And 3 years ago you were really quite shy, and you slowly getting more and more confident. And you sang that song knowing that Blue was watching you from the other end of the line. But you weren't, or you didn't seem nervous, you didn't miss a note, you didn't miss it. Were you actually confident, or were you shaking inside?
Yeah, I was kind of shaking. But I think whenever you've got an opportunity like that, you just need to grab it with both hands. Especially whenever he said that he was going to show Ashley the video. Yeah.
Now, that's not the only reason for talking to you today, because you've got a new EP out.
Yeah.
Your first EP release?
My very first EP, yeah.
Tell us a bit, why did you decide to do it as an EP? Have the singles all been out so far, or what?
Since I started in the country music scene, a lot of people have wanted an EP from me, or they've wanted an album, but an album is very expensive.
Yeah.
So I decided just to do an EP and get it out, and I think having more songs out and having the EP out is going to open a lot more doors for me, because I think not having a lot of music out there was kind of holding me back just a little bit. So fingers crossed, having the EP out is going to open some more doors.
The title track for the EP is From Caledonia with Love. Every Scot thinks Caledonia's, it's another word for Scotland, is the best thing. Is that why you called it that, or?
No, so the song's called Caledonia's Looking Good on You.
That's right.
The EP is From Caledonia with Love.
Right, but the song is Caledonia Looks.
But the song, I wrote it with Karen Waldrop, and she asked me what kind of song that I needed, what kind of song I needed, and I said I just want one that kind of welcomes the audience, and we ended up writing about how the audience makes me feel whenever I go on stage, and I kind of related it back to how Scotland makes me feel.
Right, that's good. Well, that gives the greatest cue to play the song, which is called
Caledonia is Looking Good on You.
I see the light in your eyes, looking like me.
walk by my old house on the way in a whir, trying to figure out how it was the edge of my world. But then came a girl from just across town. She took me to a place I salute even now. There's nowhere I can stand where this shadow don't fall. Cause I'm a big man in a small town, never going nowhere when you're only looking down. Now I've grown and I think you were the seed. But I'm okay finding my way. It's hard to get lost when you're never looking down. No, someday I think about how to sound. It was a big man, but she moved away from here and took a piece of my soul. I stitched it up with 6 strings and told stories of old. Cause I'm a big man in a small town, never going nowhere when you're only looking down. Now I've grown and I think you were the seed. And I'm okay finding my way. It's hard to get lost when you're never looking down. No, someday I think about how to sound. He was a big man from a small town. What is a life if you never grow? Walking the streets of a cage show host. I never curse this place or ever put it down. What is a life if you never grow? Walking the streets of a cage show host. I never curse this place or ever put it down. Then came a deal, must have liked what they heard. They said I should leave, I stay true to my word. There's nowhere I can stand where this shadow don't fall. Oh, won't fall. Cause I'm a big man in a small town, never going nowhere when you're only looking down. Now I've grown and I think you were the seed. But I'm okay finding my way. It's hard to get lost when you're never looking down. No, someday I think about how to sound. He was a big man in a small town. Big man from a small town. Big man from a small town.
Well, that was Big Man, Small Town, and I've got next to me the big man from a small town of Portsmouth. But we're at Buckle and Boots, we're backstage, which is why you can hear Gary Quinn doing his sound check, or actually doing a song. But Alan, you had a great gig up at the Paddock stage.
I did.
Yesterday. Did you enjoy that?
I did, and I woke up that day and I said to myself, I never get these, but I've got a good feeling, and I was like, I know that this is going to go well, and it did, and it went 100%, and it was amazing, as it always is.
Great. And are you a lover of Buckle and Boots?
Absolutely. This is the place where I debuted, and this is the place that always means a lot to me. The people, the organisation of everything, and you know, they're just so nice to me, and yeah, I'll always give them like my utmost respect, and you know, it's just a brilliant festival of community and family, and just everyone coming together.
But this has been a special year for you because you've lost some weight.
I have.
And you've done something that we weren't expecting, which is you've passed your driving test.
I have indeed.
So are you pleased with that? Did you drive all the way from Portsmouth? Or
no, I ended up getting someone to drive for 4.5 hours, and then I got to the car park and I said, right, my turn.
You entered the site.
Yeah, it's only because it's my friend Regan, who's also doing press this weekend. He works alongside, he works as a hire car company, and he got us like basically a brand new car.
Oh,
so
right.
And I've never driven an automatic yet, so he was kind of nervous about me wrecking.
Yeah, it's funny because in the States they're all automatic cars.
Yeah.
But in the UK we're used to changing gears. But anyway, it's a different kind of thing. So what else have you got planned this year?
I've really turned myself around this year, so obviously the losing weight thing is helping me. The more positive outlook on life as my years have sort of been, like the 3 years have been sort of low points in personal life. So yeah, I definitely had to get out of that slump. So I said to myself, I'm sick of being fat and depressed. So I'm going to change all that. In terms of writing and recording, I'm going to try and get some more studio time, sort of hopefully the tail end of this year, and get myself going and get those songs that are in my head on my phone, on notes that I've scrawled everywhere, and I'm going to get them done.
That's great. Well, sadly, we're at the end of the show. There's a typical song of Alan's that I think works to close us out, which is Till Last Call. So Alan Finland, thank you, man. Good to see you. We'll see you again.
It's Friday night and my work boots are off and thrown. I hear that text tone go and I'm racing out the door. Gonna hit the bar, drink till last call. The boys are 3 drinks in and they ain't gonna stop. Shooting the gallery of top shelf alcohol. I won't be down, drink till last call. Then we'll be tearing up the floor. A honky-tonk free-for-all. Stomp those boots and raise your hands. This is a party when we roll into town. If it's 10 or 20, there'll be more. We're gonna drink, 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 drink till last call. Late in the PM and we asked the band for more. Chasing those whiskey shots, yeah.